A very big day for Africa in London today as some heads of state and business leaders, including top UK officials, are meeting together for the UK-Africa Investment Summit, the first in the year 2020, and just about 2 weeks, less than that, before UK formally exits the European Union, January 31st, Brexit. Julian Olayinka, my colleague, is having a very big day with the big boys and the big names in the world of politics, business, and investments there at the venue of the event. Juliana, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Bosun.
You spent some of your weekend tracking the Nigerian team. Thank you so much. We have some images from what you and the rest of the team, our London team, did over the weekend. Thank you for that. But where are we this morning as we tee off the opening hours of this very important summit?
My goodness, Bosun. One thing I can tell you is that Africa has definitely arrived. Usually when the British do something, it's, dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's. But it's been difficult. The plenary session, the opening session of the inaugural UK Africa Investment Summit was actually supposed to start 10 or 15 minutes ago, but there are just so many heads of states here. And because we're talking Africa, everybody wants to speak with everybody. People are having offline deals. So I believe it's just about to start, which is a stone's throw away, about 10 meters away from where I am now. But, everybody's here. Of course, we know President Muhammadu Buhari's here, who I've seen with him. I've seen the Ogun State Governor. I've seen the Lagos State Governor. Minister of Finance is here. We've got the Minister of Foreign Affairs. We've got a couple of state governors, including the Governor of Gombe State, the Governor of Abia State. It's a really big deal. And you definitely get a sense that Britain is finally ready to take Africa seriously. And of course, being the largest economy on the continent, Nigeria is right at the center of that.
Juliana, you spent some time on Saturday taking some pictures and all of that with the Nigerian team led by Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari himself. So those very few minutes of interactions, what did you learn? What did you eavesdrop? What's the body language of Nigerian team at this very important event?
Well, I spoke, as you said, this weekend I was with some of the delegation. I managed to get a good 20 or 30-minute sit-down with Femi Adesina, who is the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity. And I was pretty honest with him, saying, look, we've seen the summits. Yes, it's the first time it's happening in Britain, but it's happened in Russia. It's happened, of course, with Beijing plenty of times. How is this going to start trickle down? Is this really serious? And there was definitely a sense that, no, they are serious, that they're not just signing deals. They are being taken very seriously. It's not just going to be a second scramble for Africa. The bureaucrats that they have around the president are really going through a fine tooth comb just to make sure that anything they do sign with Britain is going to be good. And even before this event, Bosun, we were at the UK-Africa Investment Showcase, which was giving us a taste of what was to come. And these are huge deals. The kind of investment that's coming into Nigeria is to the tune of £700 million sterling and above. So these are potentially generation-changing deals. We just hope, especially those of us in the diaspora, and of course those of us watching closely back home, that it's the right deal for Nigeria, and that we're not just going to be second best because, of course, Britain is in a Brexit bonanza.
Exactly. I looked through one of the UK government's website this morning, and the background to this investment summit is about building a mutual prosperity. And that sounds to hit me that what the UK want is a mutual prosperity across the Atlantic, not just in the UK, but for Africa, where the UK has quite a number of countries that have ties to the Commonwealth or ties to Great Britain. So this will be music to everyone's ears, looking at the scramble for Africa from the Chinese, from the Americans, from France, the big boys in Europe, Germany, the Netherlands, and the rest of them, the Dutch. So in terms of what you've seen on the program for the discussion today, how do these topics, do you think they address the key issues that the African leaders would want?
There are. Apologies for doing this, but I've got to. Just at the back of my access pass now, there is a summary of today. And what stands out really, after they've done this opening plenary session, they will be having a discussion about sustainable finance and infrastructure. They've got a trade and investment briefing. After lunch, they've got African growth opportunities. And we do actually have your friend, Bosun, Tony Elumelu, speaking at that. And also as well, former finance minister, Ngozi Iweala, she will be speaking a little bit later on in the day. I haven't actually seen anything that says the president will be speaking. But, you know, going back to last week and tomorrow, because we've got Davos, the 50th Davos gathering happening in Switzerland, sustainability is huge. Net zero emissions and environmentally friendly businesses is on the top of the global financial agenda. So it's going to be really important, particularly as Africa's largest economies are so dependent on oil, that they really start boosting these alternative investment projects and these finance capabilities, purely because that seems to be the way that they're going. So that's a little brief breakdown of the day, but I think what stands out the most is sustainability and the ways in which these new investment opportunities in Africa and of course in Nigeria will be tapping into that.
Juliana, thank you so much for raising the curtain on this very full day coverage. There is going to be a very busy day. You need to get out of that building and walk your way back to the venue where you need to listen to the big boys making their presentations. Thank you so much. And of course, we'll be seeing you later in the day on Business Incorporated and our regular news on the hour. Thank you, Juliana Olayinka, our correspondent there in the city of London. Here, our energy correspondent, Olu Phillips, is tracking the damage and what the authorities are doing. That pipeline explosion around Alimosho local government, the Ilepo area of Abulegba in the outskirts of the city overnight. Olu Phillips, good morning. Give us a few seconds here, about a minute, of what you are learning on the ground as far as the authorities are managing this, and what damages can you see on the ground, if there are any estimates of what had happened to life and property.
Okay, so Boston, good morning to you. It's not a very fantastic morning out here in Abulegba in the Alimosho local government area. Sad to say that this is the third incident in less than 2 months that we're having this kind of incident where vandals have had to vandalize national assets like this. The authorities are a bit shied away from giving us numbers of what the casualties are, because there are too many houses here, so many houses that have come under the inferno, and we've seen evidences also that some just right behind me there on the floor there, where you see a lot of people gathered. A woman was said to have lost her life with a daughter or a child. She actually made her way back to the house to bring another child out when she couldn't scale through some of these medians that are here. It's a sad one for people around here, but the story is the same. These guys are brazen, these guys are not stopping. Just also let you know that from the highest level, at the federal government level, the federal government has heard about this, they are saddened, and they're about to take actions. We are in touch with the powers of the NNPC and the GMD. NNPC, Malam Kolokeare, will be coming here to take an assessment and make very strong pronouncement as to how to nip these incidences in the board. I understand that in the next 30 to 1 hour he will be here, and we'll be bringing you that update as far as that's concerned. But the first responders have said what they need to say, but they've not given us figures as to how many houses, how many cars, how many trucks, how many people are involved in this sad day at the Alimosho local government area. A local government that needs to be called to question.
Thank you so much, Olu Phillips, our energy correspondent. Thank you. And please stay safe. That's a very heavily populated area, but very interesting how those pipelines that were laid many years ago, before those areas become highly populated, now those crude laden or product laden went through those residential areas. Thank you so much, Olu Phillips. We appreciate your time. We'll be on our news at 11 o'clock to bring us updates. Let's talk to Femi Ogundimu, who is a fixed income dealer at Access Bank, raising the curtain for us at the FMDQ exchange place this morning. Femi, good morning. Give us your opening calls on treasury bills and on Naira bonds for this Monday?
Good morning, Bosan. Trust you well. For this Monday, we expect some extra FAC to come into the market. Some came in on Friday, and others are expected to come in today. So we expect, because of this, market might be slightly bullish. On the treasury, we've seen lots of bullish sentiment since Friday for the OMO maturities and in NTB. In fact, we saw NTB drop to as low as 4%, while the OMO dropped about 15 basis points. At the bond market, we expect the reverse. We expect slightly bearish sentiment as auction comes on Wednesday, we expect players to take position today in the short positions in view of the auction on Wednesday.
Femi, thank you so much for raising the curtain. We appreciate your time. Let's leave it there. Let's see if we can get some time to speak with you before the rest of the week, before the week runs out. Thank you so much. A very busy day for the Monetary Policy Committee meeting of the Central Bank on Thursday and a formal briefing on Friday. I'll see you again tomorrow, Tuesday, everyone. Have a great day and goodbye from Lagos.